What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Destination Pro Wrestling. It's your boy Ango at Tango with Ango on Twitter and Instagram if you guys want to follow me. I am off for the next 3 weeks. The state is on lockdown, but we're going to bring you guys some more pro wrestling news. A lot of stuff happening in the world of AEW and WWE. But today's video, this one specifically, we are going to talk about AEW and Double or Nothing. We got some major updates coming your way, and we're going to talk about it right here, right now on DPW.
Arrived at your destination.
All right, guys, so Double or Nothing happening Memorial Day weekend. Now everything is questionable. As you guys know, the world is going through something very, very, very interesting, as well as something very serious. And, you know, I've mentioned this in previous videos. YouTube might demonetize me if I say the magic word, which in this case, we're just going to kind of ignore that. I think everybody at this point kind of knows what I'm alluding to. But this has definitely caused some issues for pretty much not just the entertainment world or the sports world or, you know, anything like that. It's definitely impacting, you know, people in general, humans in general. It's obviously impacting small businesses, big corporations. And I know right now a lot of people are kind of tuned into the news and social media and Facebook, and they're hearing a lot of things about what they heard and what's this and what's that. And a lot of people are just scared right now. And a lot of people are telling me that they appreciate my content, you know, because it kind of helps them take their mind off things. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to do my best to produce as much content as possible, especially within the next 3 weeks, because I am not going to be working at my in real life job. So if you guys want to support the channel, and I'm not asking you to, obviously it's a very interesting time, but if you guys want to support the channel, you could become a member, DPW Plus. We're going to be launching early content, merch discounts. There's going to be a lot more perks, and it starts at $1 a month. So with that being said, guys, let's kind of just talk about what's going on with AEW, because as you guys know, WWE and AEW have been doing their shows in an empty arena. And this is an example of what AEW has done, which, just so you guys know, WWE has they've kind of taken notes from AEW, but to kind of help distract fans watching at home, as you can tell in this image, the main camera for the in-ring action is the hard cam facing towards the entrance ramp and the Titantron and everything like that. Now, this was a very smart move by AEW because WWE, you could kind of tell by the flaws of WWE that it didn't look right, it didn't seem right, it didn't feel right, knowing that there wasn't fans in the arena. So I think AEW made that change and did a wonderful job. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because we don't know what's going to happen in May. And we're going to get into a couple more details throughout this video. So make sure you guys are watching this in its entirety because I'm trying to piece things together to make it make sense. But nobody knows what's going to happen in the next few weeks. When you watch the last episode of Dynamite, AEW made it very clear that they were not saying next week, you know, even though it's been confirmed that there will be a show live on Dynamite this upcoming Wednesday. As of right now, AEW and WWE are set to pre-tape their events in some capacity. So it may not be entirely everything, but it sounds like WWE and AEW are going to pre-tape the events. We know that WWE is going to pre-tape WrestleMania, and this is obviously all due to that one thing that's happening in this world that is causing so many troubles for everybody right now. And, you know, I know a lot of people are kind of upset with AEW and WWE, both of them, for producing shows just to begin with, you know. But I think at this time right now, it's just such a weird, chaotic time in everybody's lives. Having them produce content is just a really, really, I would say it's very helpful in the sense that, you know, we have something to watch on TV on a weekly basis where it's kind of taking our minds off things because, as you guys may know, the NBA, NHL, NFL, XFL, MLB, all of these sports organizations have temporarily suspended their season or canceled their season. And that's the scary thing. Like, nobody knows what's going to happen. So AEW and WWE have been using empty arenas, and now we're starting to see AEW kind of go into the future. And this is where AEW has postponed or rescheduled certain events. So as you guys know, Blood and Guts is not taking place this week. Blood and Guts will be postponed, I believe, for July. There's events happening. All the Dynamites in May of 2020, leading up to Double or Nothing, have also been rescheduled, or not only just rescheduled, but they're also finding alternatives for those shows. So whether it happens in Daly's Place, whether it happens at the Nightmare Factory, we don't necessarily just know, but those will not also be taking place in arenas. Now, I can only speak for the state of Michigan because I live in the state of Michigan, but our lockdown in the state of Michigan, our stay-at-home, shelter-in-place rule is right now taking place for 3 weeks. So with that being said, with something like this taking place for 3 weeks, nobody knows if we're going to have to extend that ban afterwards. We don't know if this thing that is taking over the world at this point, right? This little thing that's going around, nobody knows if they're going to have to extend this afterwards. And I think, best to my knowledge, the state of Illinois, Ohio, New York, California, I believe they're in the same boat. So AEW has already gone on to forward think about May 2020. And those events have already been postponed and they're going to be rescheduled. Now, that's not saying that Dynamite won't be taking place on those days. It just won't be taking place with people in the arena, which at this point, one has to believe if all of the weekly shows that are happening in May are being postponed and rescheduled, one has to believe that Double or Nothing will officially be canceled. And as somebody who had plans to go to Double or Nothing, I want to make it very clear, as much as I think a trip to Las Vegas would be very cool, especially since I went to the first Double or Nothing, I'm not sure if a lot of people feel comfortable at this point to go. And nobody knows what kind of financial burden this kind of stuff is going to leave on people. A lot of people are expecting bad things. But guys, I'm not a news anchor. I'm not a journalist in the world of politics. And quite frankly, I'd rather leave the politics out of this channel. This is about wrestling. So I'm not going to guess what's going to happen to the wallets of a million bajillion people out there in this world, because I don't know what's going to happen. But I do want to make it very clear that I don't know if I feel comfortable now to go to Las Vegas, even if the government and the world tells us, hey, we've contained this thing that's going around. I think it's just going to be a little too soon, especially when you see AEW has already taken the precautions of canceling those shows. I think it just makes a little bit more sense for everybody to kind of hold off. Which this is crazy because AEW, it hasn't even been a full year of its business, I don't think. And at this point, they have so many roadblocks and so many things that they have to deal with. It's just almost like it's really shitty that they have to be dealing with this as a company. But I think, and we're going to talk a little bit about this more on the channel, but there's a lot of stuff that AEW is doing because they have been put in a position, they have been placed in a position where they can succeed, and they're using some of that growth and some of that buzz and some of that notoriety that comes from their business to help others. And that's something that we're going to talk about in the future. But, for what they're going through as a company, it's not even the worst thing that's happening because, again, there's so many people that are struggling right now. And there's so many issues that nobody really knows the answer to. There's a lot of uncertainty. And so with pro wrestling, I give them all props. I know, again, people have been very, very, very negative, even towards AEW, despite them having this, this awesome hard cam and the way that they did the footage. There pretty much is no right or wrong answer on how to produce a wrestling show. You have a lot of fans who are saying that they should be social distancing, and then you have a lot of fans that say, oh, you should at least have 30 to 40 wrestlers in the crowd heckling the wrestlers. It's like, you're damned if you do, you damned if you don't. If you're WWE and you're AEW, you got to do this stuff as safe as possible. And, at this point, some people argue at this very moment, people are arguing the best way to be 100% safe is by 100% canceling your shows. And I don't think, based on the promo that Cody caught and based on how WWE operates as a business, honestly, I don't see any of these businesses, no longer producing content for the foreseeable future. I think there's going to be some level of content, whether it's wrestling or not. I know we saw NXT kind of do a more behind the scenes, more of a character building episode, which I thought was really good, to be honest. We've seen them do that. We see AEW doing wrestling. We're seeing WWE use Raw and SmackDown as a way to kind of, have a couple matches, mostly interviews and promos. And then we're starting to see them do some, reruns of old pay-per-view matches and stuff, which people are hating on that, but you really can't hate on any of these companies at this time. It's a very chaotic situation. And I think it It's a very, very weird time, but I think everybody will get through it. I think you just got to be smart, stay inside, wash your hands, and hope for the best. And, guys, I'm really excited about the future of this channel. I know everybody wants to learn about wrestling, so whatever is happening in the business, if there's something relevant, I'm going to talk about it. You guys know how I operate. I'm not a journalist. I don't break the news. I don't get my own scoops. I pretty much talk about what's out there, and I give you guys my formulated opinion. You either love me or hate me, but nonetheless, you love wrestling. And if you guys want to subscribe, definitely subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe to the channel. And make sure you guys click that like button, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, guys, it's your boy Ango at Tango with Ango on Twitter and Instagram. I'll see you.
You have arrived at your destination.